First name's Carl, because I'm with the remediation division. It is in my district, so I'm familiar with the site somewhat. It caused a little flurry of file searching here to find out what information we had on it when it happened. Building was built in 1895, construction is 1960. They were a hazardous waste generator, a large quantity generator. Metalwork including stamping, machining, greasing, and plating, so your typical solvents and metals and stuff. Bunch of tanks in the ground. There were some PCB transformers, electrical transformers on site, and there was some work done in 1992 because they were vandalized, and some cleanup was necessary. There was areas of metals, chlorinated solvents, and petroleum contamination in the soil and groundwater, and there's some numbers here. These numbers aren't really too high, and there's some ash fill. That's what we would have, but if you were concerned about, like, lead in the paint or
I'm sure there was.
Or whatever, and stuff like that, that falls under public health. Yeah, I can tell you that this email was from my supervisor on Friday, because she knew she was going to be out, and she said she spoke to Matt Williamson. He's with the spills and emergency response and spills, and at that point, he was not called and not planning to go out there. So it sounds like if somebody went out there on Tuesday that the call came in, as she said, probably, plans were changed, or somebody finally called on Monday, but we weren't called in right away.
The city of Waterbury, literally the day after, said it was safe. The smoke was safe. The fire chief was on the WHER 13 AM radio, and his excuse was that smoke is is pretty much the consistency of a cigarette. And then I sat there and go to myself, well, so is he saying it is toxic?
Yeah. I really wish people would think. I don't think we would really have the information short term to make the statement that he made. I can't imagine that we. I mean, most of these things you send to a lab. A fast turnaround time is a couple days. Oh, it's Mark.
Was there any test done?
Yeah, there were 4 samples taken in the air, 4 air samples taken and analyzed. All this is on file with your local health department. We forward all the results over to them. From the D.E.E.P, the environmental proposal, we were tasked up to take the analytical sample. We did tell you our standard array Tedlar air samples.
Now,
in air from 4 different locations around the site.
And now this was done on Tuesday, correct?
Yes. So Quinn,
how did you deem the scene safe the day after without any tests?
When you do a fire like that, essentially, and this is in contact with D.E.E.P, the experts there who did the testing. Essentially, there is when you go to a fire like that, and this guy was an expert. You basically look at people who just to the firemen. He described the mill fire, Bridgeport. There was a really rip-roaring fire, and firemen were going in, and he saw one fireman in and out 10 times with no mask, nothing, and he was fine. So based on that, based on the history of what chemicals can hurt you, when I say that, I mean long term. Essentially, we know there was no asbestos found anywhere on the property. So we kind of ruled that out early, and essentially it's like a can foam is going to have carcinogens in it, but that doesn't mean it's going to have long-term effect on you. So essentially, the test came back all negative, and that's what we expected. Judgment I made, P made, all of the expert made was there was no acute effects, and if there were anything, which proved that there wasn't in the air.
Well, you proved at that time. 5 days later, you proved, but you didn't prove that the day of the fire that was clean. You know what I mean? And my thing is on 9/11, the EPA told the first responders that the air quality was clean and okay to breathe.
Not true. Absolutely not true.
Exactly, it wasn't true.
I mean, no, of course, but I mean, first of all, you're doing apples and oranges now.
Well, no, I mean, what we should be saying is telling the people to not close their windows, right? We shouldn't be telling people that it's clear. We shouldn't be telling people it was safe. We should be just making, well, it should have been said, it was listen, every fire should be deemed as a hazard, and you should close your windows.
No, you're way over. I don't agree with you on that.
So keep the windows open?
As I said, a campfire is a
Well, any fire is. Right?
Sure, it can be.
Exactly.
But it's not going. But you're not listening to what I'm saying to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, you asked me the question, how did you deem it safe? And I told you. And that is how I did. All the experts, if you've been reading the papers, there was no evidence that there was any acute effect on anybody.
Mm. Well, there was no evidence at the day after for you to give a safe statement, though. Unfortunately,
you're just not hearing what I'm saying.
Well, you're not hearing what I'm saying.
That's fine.
You know what I mean? You're not hearing what I'm saying. You're using other fires.
You asked me a question.
Well, yeah. I asked how did you deem it safe? Well, you had no evidence.
I told you how I deemed it safe.
What? A Bristol fire? Bridgeport fire made you think that this was safe?
No. This is the guy who talked to me from D.E.E.P.
Mm-hmm.
is a fireman.
You mean Mark Liano?
No, not Mark.
Okay.
His name is Jim Connell, I think it is.
Okay.
And he's an expert. He teaches. He goes around teaching. He's an expert, recognized experts in the field.
Mm-hmm.
The Bridgeport fire is an example of when he is on a scene of an active fire. Basically, that's the first thing he looks for. It's the canary in the mine idea, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If this guy's been running in and out 4, 5, 6 times and he's fine, guess what? There isn't anything that is going to acutely make him ill in that fire. So that's what I'm telling you. Now, you don't have to accept it, but that is his expert opinion, and he is an expert.
Well, the experts were on the EPA's, like I said, on 9/11. I mean, I'm not, like you said, apples and oranges. Well, I mean, my admission here is, without evidence to say it's safe is just a flawed statement. What should have been said was, listen.
No, it's not a flawed. Why do you say that?
Because you had no evidence.
It's a statement. You just don't want to accept what I'm telling you.
No, you.
I mean, I'm not going to stay on the phone all day arguing the fact that I told you how I made that assumption based on talking with experts. And you just don't want to accept it.
Well, no, I mean, what do you mean I don't want to accept it, sir? Listen, you're trying to make it seem like I'm the bad guy here. I'm not trying to say you're a bad guy.
It's about, you asked me a question, I answered the question, and you're saying...
And do I not have the right to give you what I believe that should have been said? Man, that's really I'm only saying. I'm not saying that.
Tell me what I should have said.
Well, what you should have said was, every fire should be deemed as a hazard. Every fire, just like you said, even a chimney fire. At this moment in time, we have no evidence of it being hazardous. But please take precautionary measures, especially if you have children with asthmatic respiratory issues, to close your windows. It is summertime.
I don't disagree with you.
But if that would convey that would have been nice. Because I'm not saying that I'm not worried about the fire being hazardous, because I know every fire is hazardous. I'm not.
We leafleted that neighborhood. We talked to people about it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the initial concern was asbestos, and we handed out a flyer that basically said, if you work in the shipping industry, if you work with asbestos every day, you have the potential for mesothelioma or asbestosis, and over a long period of time. So everything, the fact that we still don't know what's in there. That facility closed like 30 or 40 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Before I was even born.
So we don't have it.
Okay.
We don't have anything on file.
Really?
The state doesn't have anything on file. DPH doesn't have anything on file.
Well, I do.
Nobody's got it. It's period. It doesn't exist.
So then, at that point, since you have nothing, then you're pretty much making a blind statement when you said it was safe. Do you see what I'm saying? So I would like to...
You have to understand how I made that blind statement.
Mm-hmm.
Based on science and based on experts. Leafleted we went out and spoke to every resident in the immediate area around
Pear and all, yeah.
And Peach and even Sandy. We went around and talked to people, and I've talked to people on the phone during the fire.
Okay.
Answered their questions. I mean, the articles I see in the paper, they keep changing all the time. Right now, where it is right now, it is essentially, it's up to the owner